All right, everyone. Biden called in to the Kamala rally the other day, and people are all astir about what the fuck was going on. The call was incoherent as usual, which means I don't think it was AI. I think it was genuinely Joe Biden. I do think that the call was pre-recorded, though. I do not believe that that was a live phone call. I don't think that he's in any condition right now, mentally or physically, to be making a live phone call. It's almost elder abuse that they forced him to pre-record the call in the first place. The biggest tell here is that he was slurring his speech to a considerable degree. Like somebody who's had, 4 or 5, big ones at the bar, and in short order, now they're sloshed. This is evidence of a stroke. And it's something that several commentators, including myself, Laura Loomer, others, brought up several days ago. His absence from public, number one, and the one video that we do have of him climbing aboard Air Force One and then back off, already looked like he had had a TIA at least, probably a series of them at this point. It's called a mini stroke. It can be a precursor to a major stroke. Now, clearly, he's capable of uttering full sentences still, so he probably hasn't had a major stroke. I think that they are working overnight, basically, trying to make sure that he doesn't have the big one, the real Widowmaker, but that he had a series of mini strokes, and that this is why he had the shuffling gait. This is why, if you look at his face closely on the Air Force One video, it looks like one side of his face is just slightly drooping. I've actually seen TIAs before in real life. This is what it's indicative of. Now, he might recover, but he's not capable of governing. The stress of the office and probably the mutiny of the Democratic Party against him in the wake of his debate performance probably predicated the mini-strokes. But that's what he had. Whether they admit this to the public or not, there's a 100% chance that that's the reason why he finally bowed out. I think that they told him, his medical team there at the White House, this is going to kill you. You will die if you continue under this stress. Wander off into the sunset. We'll take care of things in the meantime. Do you really think that he's in charge right now? Bullshit. When he says, well, I'll be out campaigning for Kamala, maybe. That's possible. You can recover from TIAs, by the way, without any long-term significant deleterious effects. But in the short term, Biden ain't fit right now to do jack fucking shit. This call was pre-recorded. He is slurring his speech. The other thing is they probably got him on various medications at the moment, so that might be fucking him up. This is pre-recorded. It's not AI, though. Some people are claiming, well, that doesn't sound fully like Biden. We think it's artificially intelligence generated. No, he sounds different because he had a stroke. That's why he sounds different. That's why he's mumbling more than normal, slurring his words, etc., etc. And this is what they're hiding from the public. Because they don't want necessarily the public, at least before the election is over, they don't want the public to know, we covered up his cognitive decline, strokes and aneurysms and all of this shit for several years. They don't want the public to know that. That wouldn't look very good. And since Kamala was VP at the time and therefore was intimately aware of Joe Biden's mental condition on a day-to-day basis, it wouldn't look good for her. This is nothing more than a standard classic cover-up. It's not AI shenanigans. It's Joe Biden is all fucked up and we all knew it shenanigans. And oh shit, if the public finds out that Kamala, because the public is intelligent enough to infer this, Kamala worked with him almost every day for several years. Could she have known that Joe Biden was fucked? No, she had no clue. She never met with the dude. She barely knows him. That's not gonna work. It wouldn't go over well. They're trying to wagon circle for Kamala when they're doing this. They don't give a shit about Joe, by the way. He's dead meat at this point. They've tossed him aside. They threw him under the bus. They forced him out. They mutinied. His political career is fundamentally over. He's not even the caretaker president. He's not calling the shots right now. He's probably just lying in bed, getting dosed up to the eyeballs. By the way, this could also have been the result of the fact that you clearly gave the man uppers for a significant period of time. It's like that documentary Hi Hitler, where they were talking about how they were injecting him with like fucking liquid cocaine and all sorts of crazy shit like that. No. You mean that could affect you in a negative manner and give you Parkinson's-like symptoms and maybe a stroke or something? No, I never would have thought that between age and the stress of office plus being dosed up to the fucking eyeballs that it could possibly screw you up in any manner. I thought you'd be all healthy and shit. I'm sure he gets his vitamins too. They'd probably give him marching powder or something like that. He doesn't have to take it anymore. Now they're giving him downers and stuff like that, and stroke medication. Again, I would love to see Congress, and they'll never do this because most of them make use of the privacy of this. There's a special pharmacy that people in Congress, the president, it's SCOTUS, etc., are privy to that you're not allowed to even know what's being dispensed to these individuals due to medical privacy laws. As though politicians should have medical privacy at all. I think that we should have proof of life, number one, and clean bill of health, number two. I think that before we, in order to vote and have a properly functioning democratic republic, you sort of have to have informed consent. Well, we're not fully informed. That's why they're not informing us about what's going on with Joe Biden, although, again, I can guarantee my inference on this one is correct. Whether or not they come forward cleanly about it remains to be seen. The answer is probably going to be no, at least till after the election. And they can go and get whatever pills they want. So, if you knew what they were on, you could infer their medical conditions. And we probably should know if people in Congress have medical conditions. How many of them are on AZT, for example? How many of them are taking anti-cancer medications of some sort or another? How many of them are taking the little blue pill, or the little red pills, or the little happy pills? I bet half of Congress is pilled up on a regular basis. You look at some of these people on TV, interviews and shit like that, and you're like, whoa, give me whatever he's taking. Joe Biden did not call in live to the Kamala Harris rally. That was pre-recorded. That's number one. Number two, it's not AI generated. I listened to it myself. AI is getting really, really good at voice generation, but it is not that good. Point number three, he had a stroke, or possibly series of strokes. That much is 100% evident. It's completely obvious. He's going to blame the Voldemort disease for why he sounded slurred and so, I was rock'em shock'em. I was tired and, No. You weren't tired. You almost died. That's what happened. And that's why you stood down. That's the long and short of it. And you're being covered for by the White House staff, the legacy media, everyone else. Everyone knows that something acute happened. We can infer what that acute thing was based on this call, based on his appearance after Air Force One there. I suspect that he had had one TIA, but he was still capable of at least getting aboard the plane. And then they brought him back to D.C., or maybe he's in Delaware at the moment, I can't remember which. They bring him back to put him on hospice, effectively, and then he had several more. Because even in his shuffling gait, departure from Air Force One when he landed, he looked a little bit more with it than what I'm hearing from this phone call. Link in the description, by the way. You can listen to it for yourself. He had a stroke, or possibly several strokes. That's the truth. That's about all. Peace out.